Hi.
Hello everyone, it's terrific. Thanks for joining me. I do appreciate it. Right now, I'm at an undisclosed location called the Little River Canyon in just south of Fort Payne, Alabama. Beautiful place. Glad to be here. Fortunate to have the opportunity to have such a view. Right down there, maybe 500, 600 feet down is the Little River. We're on top of Lookout Mountain on the Little River Canyon. Anyway, yesterday I had a chance to go to a place called the Alabama Booksmith, and right away, first thing when I got there, I got to meet some cool people, but a couple of icons of social media, if you will, and that's Hunter Goatley and a guy by the name of Jeff Terry, the Jeff word. Ever hear of it? Anyway, great chance to meet some great fellas, quite a few great people at this event, and also icing on the cake, I got a chance to listen to a guy named Robert R. McCammon talk, to ask him a few questions, listen to him read from his new book, The King of Shadows, and get a bunch of books signed. So I got way too many books signed by this guy, but that's just what I do. Anyway, I got to add some great signatures to books that were already in my collection when I got there. Also, got a chance to buy some books at the Alabama Booksmith. If you're ever in Birmingham, Alabama, check them out, or go on the internet, mash them buttons on their website, check them out. Oh, you got a bunch of signed books by a bunch of people. Anyway, I've been looking forward to this event for a while. We took the trip from Central Florida to Fort Payne, Alabama, and then a couple days later, we drove over to Birmingham. Hello, everybody. It's Saturday, December 3rd, and we are on our way to Alabama Booksmith in Birmingham, Alabama. I'm leaving our little place on the mountain in Fort Payne, heading that way, and it's beautiful. Look at the fog. Dig it. Hey, we finally made it to the Alabama Booksmith in Birmingham. So the trip from Fort Payne to Birmingham was almost 2 hours. We had plans.
2 hours.
We were gonna go to we were gonna go to a trampoline park, but I goofed off too long. Took too long to leave. So what we're going to do is we're going to come in here, check out the bookstore. Later on, we're going to see Robert R. McCammon. Ever hear of him?
One of my favorite authors and his.
And
My
we're going to try to get some books signed. Probably try to get too many books signed.
Yeah.
And then from there, we got to go where? Where are we going to go after that?
The mall.
The mall. Kid wants to go to the mall. When we got there, I got a chance to hang out in the parking lot, chat and BS a little bit with some folks I've seen online, never in person. Went inside, checked out the store. All right, we're in here. Got a tunnel. Looks spooky. The Alabama Booksmith.
Hello? I saw her.
Then we went upstairs into like a meeting room and sat and waited for a while. And I had a great conversation with Jeff Terry and some other folks seated around where I was sitting in the room there. Then Robert McCammon came in, and he talked a little while about what's going on, about things that have happened recently, his career, such as that. He did some reading, and then he opened up a question and answer, and that was phenomenal. Getting to hear the questions, the answers, getting some insight, getting to know some things that are coming up.
Jersey.
So bad. I mean, it was kind of bad this morning, but I'm so glad it cleared up for everybody. Such a thing can't be true. My ears, she said, her eyes wide. I can't be hearing this. Am I still drugged? I bargained with Fell, Matthew said, to let me leave the village and find the stolen book of potions that would return you to reality. Also, that he would put both you and Hudson on a ship back to New York and be done with any idea of revenge he might have in mind for my past transgressions against him on behalf of the Herald. Madness, she interrupted. He's mad, and he has infected you with it. Matthew, are you even hearing yourself? Believe me, I wish I wasn't. I think, she said, I need something stronger than this wine. Matthew, Are you telling you intend to help Professor Fell call up a demon from hell itself? Did his face want to slide down off his skull? He gave a nervous little laugh. You make it sound a bit ridiculous.
And then we went downstairs for an autograph session. On one of the Facebook groups, Robert McCammon Facebook groups, Hunter Goatley guessed that there may be 30 to 50 people there. Now, I don't have an official count, but there were over 100 folks waiting in this store, lined up like that, to get a chance to meet Robert McCammon, to get books signed by Robert McCammon. All right, Roman and I, we went through the Q&A. Now we're waiting in a line to see Robert McCammon, and I got a...
It took 2 hours.
big stack of books.
This line stretches all the way back to Terre Haute, and we're at the end of it.
And this fellow was gracious. He wasn't whipping out signatures and sending people along. He was giving folks their time. So when you're waiting in a line, you kind of want that line to hurry up. But when you get your chance, you get your chance to get some time to talk to somebody that you like, that you care about, somebody that means something to you, and he shows interest in what you're doing. That's a special moment, and it means something. It shows something about a person's character and things like that. And Robert McCammon made everybody feel like they mattered. He gave them the time that they wanted, and then when they were done, they walked off. They weren't ushered off. Nobody rushed anybody, and it was a great time. I got a snack for you.
Okay, that's good.
To Roman.
To Roman?
Yeah, right there.
Okay.
From Robert McCammon.
To Roman, or M-A-N?
Yeah.
And we'll do like that. Okay. Okay, Roman, there you go. That one? Got that? Got that? Is that good?
Yeah.
That good?
Just wanted to get that one signed for everybody. And any of these, if you would just sign it for me.
Okay. Yeah.
I brought every unsigned book that I own.
Really? Okay.
I love yours.
Okay.
They told me I shouldn't bring other people.
No, that's probably not a good idea. That's probably not a good. That's frowned upon. Are you from here, or where are you from?
I live in Brooksville, Florida. So
Okay.
Hernando County. You were down there.
Oh yeah, right. You
We
told
have
me
a
that.
place in
You
Fort
told me
Payne.
the near Tampa.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
We have a place in Fort Payne, so we were going to be up here.
Oh, are
for
you? Okay.
E&I, but no
So you're planning on actually building a larger house at some point?
Yeah, and then use it.
Yeah. No, not a lot of people know about that area.
Well, that's right.
You know, they really don't. They've heard about it, but they've never visited it. They don't know what it's like.
Well, she wanted to.
Protective
They
sleep.
think of Lookout Mountain being in Chattanooga or whatever, but it, begins here. And,
So at the end of the day, I want to show you the too many things that I picked up. A few things I bought there, and then a bunch of other stuff I brought along to get signed. Let's take a look and see what I got. The first thing I bought, I intended to buy this book when I went there. I already had the Levidian Publications signed limited edition of Robert McCammon's The King of Shadows, but I've been holding off to get the trade edition there at the Alabama Booksmith, so at least when I showed up to this event, I was going to buy something and make it worth their while. And it is signed in person with a nice signature by Robert R. McCammon. They had first print copies. I don't know if there's already second print copies or not out yet, but they had first print copies signed by Robert McCammon. It's a little bit different than the limited edition version. I don't think it has the illustrations. It is a thinner book. It doesn't come with a slipcase. It's got different dust jacket artwork, but it is a quality sewn binding, a high quality book. The boards are not the cloth bound or leather bound, I don't remember. It is a trade type binding, but I mean a board material, but high quality book and very nice. While I was there, I went to buy that book. My son pointed out, Roman, 10-year-old son, he pointed out, you have this book already, don't you, Dad? Well, I did, but it wasn't signed. So I picked it up, flip to see it is signed in person by Nelson DeMille, and it is indeed a first print, first edition book. So I bought it. This is one of the John Corey series of books by Nelson DeMille, a series that I do love, and I've got all the books in the series, but I only have 2 of them signed before this one. So now 3 of those books signed. And then while I was waiting in line later for the autographs, I looked over and I saw this book here. Brian Johnson from AC/DC, and who is the lead singer and has been the lead singer since Bon Scott passed away. But I saw this book and I said, surely it's not signed by Brian Johnson. It's probably signed by an author, a writer, or something like that. But I got out of line, went over and checked it out, and sure enough, this was the very last one they had on the shelf anyway. It is signed in person by Brian Johnson, lead singer of AC/DC. Cheers, Brian Johnson, with a beautiful signature. And again, it is a first print, first edition copy. So I couldn't pass it up. I had to go buy this one. It does have some pictures in it. Let's show you just an example. It's got quite a few pictures in the center of it. So excellent thing. Now, excellent thing to pick up. Now what I want to show you is some of the stuff I got signed. My kids have listened to this audiobook multiple times. Swan Song audiobook, as we're taking long trips from Florida to Alabama or to the Smoky Mountains or places like that, New York. And they've listened to this audiobook, and my youngest son Roman says, I want to get Robert McCammon to sign this audiobook. So we opened it up, pulled the paper out. Robert McCammon signed it to Roman as the kid requested. He said, I want it signed to Roman from Robert McCammon. So there you go. He's got Christmas on the brain, so he's probably thinking about Christmas labels, I don't know. But some of the other things I brought, I've got the signed limited edition of Usher's Passing, but I wanted this trade hardcover copy because I love the cover. And when I found out Robert McCammon was coming, this was a book that I had to get so I could get it signed. So I went on eBay, I bought this copy, and I was able to get it signed by Robert McCammon. And again, it is a first print, first edition copy. Usher's Passing, a phenomenal book, and I loved this cover, the first US hardcover copy. Next, I got books kind of disorganized. Next, Gone South, another first edition US hardcover copy. This one I already had it before I found out about the signing. So it was a great opportunity to get practically every Robert McCammon book that I had that wasn't signed. First print, first edition copy of Gone South. Some folks, this book is special to them. There's a lot of folks online, at least a few, that say it often, that this is their favorite McCammon book, and they recommend it often when people ask about what should I read. Next up, mine. And this is another one that I had on the shelf. I just didn't have any signed copies. So again, opportunity knocked, and Robert McCammon signed it for me. First print, first edition US hardcover copy of mine. I actually had 2 or 3 hardcover copies of this book. This was just the best condition of the ones that I had. So now we're going to get into some soft cover books. One of the things about Robert McCammon is he's got soft cover books out there that just look so great. I had to start buying them. I typically don't collect soft covers as a rule, but they had such great covers that I had to buy them. And this is the UK first print copy from Sphere, and I just love the artwork, so I had to get it. And this one signed in person by Robert McCammon for me. Excited to have it, excited to be able to get it signed. And there you go, there's one. Another one, Swan Song, was the first US pocket books. This is pocket books, right? Pocket fiction, first US print copy of it. Look at that beautiful cover, amazing. And I had to mark the pages so I'd find them quickly. Again, Robert McCammon signed it for me. Let's see if I can find on here. This is a first print copy. Full number line goes all the way down to 1. So I was excited for those. Some more soft covers that I had, that I needed signed. The Wolf's Hour, another beautiful pocketbooks cover, terrific artwork. And again, he signed it for me. Gracious, he signed a bunch of books. I apologized, but I asked him to sign them anyway. So however that works. I'm sorry to do this to you. I hate to do this to you, but there's the but. First print, beautiful covers. Almost dropped it out here. All right, I think this is my last trade paperback, Stinger. Man, I love this artwork. The first time I saw this, I said, I gotta have that book in my collection. And so I did. I bought it. Now I got that book in my collection, and it's a signed book. Beautiful. See, he signed a bunch of books for me. Signed by Robert McCammon, and first print. There you go. There is one hardcover that I forgot about. This one is the book club edition. This is first or second hardcover copy of this book. There's a UK hardcover, which I have, but it was already autographed. And this is the US book club edition. It's got the pocket books, beautiful cover, so I had to have it. And I don't know which one came first, or if they came at the same time between this one or the UK hardcover, but it's a book club edition. There is no first edition hardcover for the United States, but an important one in my collection anyway, and getting it signed is sweet. The next things I got, they're gonna be out of order a little bit. These are the Levidian Publications ARCs, Advanced Review Copies, that Brian James Freeman sent out to certain Patreon member tier groups. And I had some of them that were given to me and some of them that I bought from folks. But anyway, it was a great opportunity to get all of these ARCs signed. There may not be many, if any, of these ARCs signed by Robert McCammon, but now there are. I'm sure some folks got them signed there. So that was Mr. Slaughter. Beautiful artwork, beautiful indeed. Freedom of the Mask. So Levidian Publications published all of the Matthew Corbett books in trade softcover format, and they had ARCs for all of them, except for the first two, and that Speaks the Nightbird and the Queen of Bedlam. And here, I've got them all. I acquired them all and got them all signed, so it's very exciting to be able to get this set signed. Here's Cardinal Black. They're all out of order, sorry. They're just in a box. I'm out here in the woods. It's dewy, foggy, and I just didn't get everything quite organized. But again, it's neat to get all these signed. I don't know what's the count. How many books did I get signed so far? Quite a few. There's the King of Shadows, all out of order. There's the King of Shadows. Beautiful signature. Excellent. Glad to have this book, period. Really nice to have it and be able to get it signed. A couple more. The Providence Rider. Man, look at these covers. Levidian Publications did such a great job getting artwork commissioned for these reprints of these Matthew Corbett books. And the Providence Rider, there it is. Nice signature. So Robert McCammon signed a bunch of these books while carrying on conversations. He would ask me questions, I would answer. He would ask me follow-up questions. I felt rushed because I was asking him to sign so many books, and there were still probably 20 people or more left in line behind me. But he just, made sure to give everybody their time. He wasn't trying to rush you along. He was appeasing all, taking pictures with all, shaking hands with folks, conversations, signing whatever they had, signing them in any way they wanted them signed. So a great fellow, a fellow that made everybody feel like it was worthwhile. He wasn't rushing people through, giving them the time they need. And I'm sure I'm forgetting something. I'm sure I'm forgetting somebody. I'm sorry, but that's all the lies I can think of right now on the Little River Canyon out here in the woods. Thank you for your time. I do appreciate it. C'est la vie, baby. Doo-doo.